Hey guys, so we just got back from our trip to the mountains. There was a noodle waiting for us, which I'm hopefully going to use to pad the ladder so I'm not throwing a towel on it every time. And we got some of these eye bolts. So my plan is I'm going to mount it under our rack, and then our MoonShade will be able to connect to this so that we're not putting the magnets on and off. Just wanted to have something that was a permanent fixture up there that we wouldn't have to go up and down and move around all the time, and we can get them spaced out perfectly so that the awning is always right where we want it to be. One for each upright and one for the main step that is always touching. So no matter where the ladder is, it's got support on both of them. When it's on this door here, that piece covers, same with the uprights. So I think just having those three will be what we'll need. And so up next, we will get these eye bolts put in. I have these drop-in T-nuts for the track. They have a little screw so that they stay in place within the track. So we'll get those placed and get that little screw out so that we can figure out where they're gonna go. So this I'll have on the track in the back, and then this will be underneath the track. So for that, I have some locking nuts and a couple washers I'll throw on each side of it. All right, so got these all set up. Basically that locking nut screwed it down until it completely stopped, so that is nice and flat on the profile. So this will be what's in the rail, and so that will be sticking out just under the rail. And so hopefully that carabiner that's on the MoonShade will be able to clip right on there. So let's see if we can get this up on the van and installed. Usually for the MoonShade, right where the slope of the van starts is where I mount it. So I'm going to see about mounting this up here. I am going to have to put this nut in first. This little screw you can screw out, and it will keep this nut straight in that track. You can see that little screw head hanging out. So I'm just trying to keep this bar as straight as possible. I'm gonna move it up. This is right where the magnet usually sits. So I just move this out to about where that magnet would sit. And I'm just gonna try to make sure the aluminum tab is nice and straight. And then tighten it down. And there we go, there's one. I'm gonna grab the MoonShade and I'm going to stick that on this to make sure that it will fit in there with the carabiner. And then we'll move on to the next one further back on the van to make sure that we can get it placed in there nicely. And there we go. It's up, it's nice and tight. I made sure that where the adjustments are, you can get the carabiner in no problem. I also think on the trip that we just took, the inside where the magnets were sitting, the inside edge was allowing some water to drop in. But now, because of where that is, where those rings are further back on the roof, that edge is all the way back there now. So hopefully we won't be worrying about any water issues. So I guess with how high they are, there is a gap, but at the same time, it is sitting further back, actually kind of under where our rack is. So we'll have to see if that helps with any water issues. If you want 10% off, go ahead and hit that link down in the description box, or else use Trail Vagabonds as your discount code if you just go to the Moonfab webpage on your own. So fast forward a few weeks. So I put up those rings about a month ago. We haven't really done anything with the van since finishing the plumbing, which as you can see, is done now, but was not as this video started. So for now, we are going to go ahead and put on some paracord, which they send with the MoonShade, that can open the carabiner from the ground. This is something I've talked to a few of you in the comments in past videos that I was planning to show you here in the future. So figure we'll go ahead and set that up now. It comes with a direction sheet that says to tie off a 6-inch loop. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and do like an overhand. And so they say to girth hitch this right onto the carabiner. It's the same thing we did for putting the guy lines on this loop. So basically just passing everything back through that. There we go, it's girth hitched on. And then that, like I said, you slide down to that metal piece. And then we go ahead and take the end and just pass it through this little sleeve. So now, as you can see, from the ground, that opens up. So now that we got those cords on, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the poles that go across the top, and we'll see if we can't use this to connect them without having to climb that ladder. It's definitely not gonna work. Because of where the eye bolt is, it's too far back and the top of the MoonShade hits the rack. I'm just gonna have to forgo using the paracord. I think if you had the magnets out on the top of your van further without a rack that is blocking, I think then it would work, but with the way our rack is and those eye bolts are, it's not gonna work. So to connect it, we're gonna run up the ladder. So I didn't really show you how this all worked. I have it locked down under this belt that comes on the ladder. The first rung there, I just have the piece connected to without taking it off. But as I go ahead and undo that, these go up in this one above. I just, slice that noodle in half like that. And then as for the rest of it, step on it, the whole ladder goes up. Since I can't use that, I'll just show you how I put this up normally. Go ahead and move the ladder to the back. Grab the corner of the MoonShade. And then we take those poles, just toss them in the corners. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I know, permanent mount was something I wanted to do from the get-go, so definitely glad we have that up. It's too bad that we can't use the pull to be able to do it from the ground, but it isn't a dire thing. But it definitely would work for you if you use the magnets that come with the product, or even those suction cups, I think. All in all, I still think this is an amazing product. From our initial reviews, we've been on 4 camping trips, I think, with it now. Getting out of the sun is huge, especially in a gray van. It definitely heats up more than a white van would. Just having this up, especially if the sun is facing us, it will block part of the van from getting sun on it, and we definitely notice feeling a lot cooler in that regard. Otherwise, I've had it while working, as you've seen in most of the last handful of videos, I guess. I have had it up working underneath it, especially in the summer sun. It has been extremely hot down here in North Carolina. Now that it's hitting fall, we won't have to worry as much. It just hit October. Perfect build season for what it is, for the price of it. Is a pretty phenomenal product. So if you guys do want 10% off, use our code TRAILVAGABONDS at checkout if you go to the MoonFab webpage. Otherwise, I have a link in the description below. If you click that, it will automatically populate that promo code for you. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I know it's just a pretty simple couple things that we did for our MoonShade. If you did like it, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell to be notified as we post new content.
We're about 3/4 of the way into the build, so there will be a lot more content coming your way. Definitely hope you tag along. If you haven't already, check out our website. I'll leave that in the description below, and join us on Patreon. That is something that we just started, and we have our first patron already. Thank you, Andrew Metcalf. You're awesome, brother. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.